I just come off the World Series. You know what I mean? We went to the World Series like 2 weeks before spring training. She calls me up at, I want to say California time, about 5:15 in the morning. And at that time, I don't know about a white home, but in a black home, if the phone rings that early in the morning, something's wrong.
Something wrong. Somebody did.
Yeah.
Somebody got shot.
Yeah, or somebody's in jail. There's been a wreck. Something's wrong.
Right.
So when she called me and she said, I said, hello? She said, Greg, this is Marge Schott, honey. I just want to say you've been traded to the Cincinnati Reds. I was like, no, I did not. Episode 7, Life After Sports, coming from you live. Your boy GV, Greg Vaughn, James Harris.
What's happening?
And, hey, this is special for me, man, because this guy, everyone talks about great hitters, and, they never mention his name. And I don't know too many people that were better. And I'm talking about switch hitters. They talk about Chipper, they talk about Eddie, which, rightly so. But I'm telling you, Dmitri Young, a.k.a. Meat Hook, this man can hit, man. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know how the lineage is, what his daddy did. I know Mom. I know Mama had a part to do with it too, but his daddy produces. I'm not just talking about baseball players, but he produces men of baseball. I mean, these guys, they make a difference. I mean, Dimitri's the 4th pick. We have that in common. We both were 4th picks in the draft.
All right.
His brother Dylan, and he was the 1st pick in the draft. And dude, I was just down there. Royce Clayton, that's my boy, and his nephew plays for Royce. And what is he? 6'7", 6'8"? What? How tall is he?
Yeah, he's 6'6" right now. He's definitely going to keep growing. But yeah, my nephew Quentin Young. That's my sister, me and Delman's sister's son. And I actually live right across the street from him in Camarillo, so I see them practically every day. And my part as uncle is to help mentor.
Well, I know he's in good hands, man, because I remember my first time I met your dad, man, when I got traded. Your dad, he greeted me like, he was like, okay, he's all yours now. I was like, there ain't nothing I need to do for Dmitri because, you already did it. You know what I mean? And I think... Shit.
Let me hey, for those that somehow don't know, Greg Vaughn changed the whole culture in Cincinnati. You had the dip in your mouth, you had the goatee, the earrings, and at the time the Reds did not allow facial hair or jewelry. And you was like, you traded for me. And next thing you know, that band, that whatever that band was, they lifted it after, 1865. It was lifted in 1999, and the way that you carried yourself, it transformed my career. It's like guys have the talent and stuff, but when you're around people with powerful, positive influences like yourself, I'm giving you your clout right now. You deserve it. We won 96 games, and I remember early in the season, I remember grounding out or something, and I was like, I sounded a little negative, and you had that big dip in your mouth. Fuck that shit. No, we're going to get this motherfucker. He's going to give it up. and they was just like, it just gave me a whole different perspective on how to look at the game. It's like, all right, you ain't going to hit 1,000, but you're going to do something. You've been able to do something your entire career up to this point. Now it's time to be I'm happy to be in the big leagues, so I'm ready to win rings.
Yeah.
And although I came up a little short, that's what you put in the middle, which I passed along once I got to Detroit and then Washington.
And you know what? And people ask me all the time, what was the difference? Like I said, it was great players, man. Like I said, I was Barry Larkin. We had the same agent. I know B, long time. But, man, I was blessed. I had Aaron Boone at third base. I had Barry Larkin at shortstop. I had Smoke at Pokey Reese at second. I had the mayor, Sean Casey, at first. I had baby brother Cam in center. And then I had Dmitri could play first, third, left, center, right. And then we had Michael Tucker and we had Jeffrey Hammond. Not only did we have a team with a lot of talent, but we had a team where we all looked like one another. That was something different too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't the stigma that you could only have a couple of us. And don't get it twisted. We had BJ behind the plate, and he's from Oakland, went to Stanford. He married a sister. You know what I mean? So,
hey, y'all transformed him too, huh?
So,
okay.
Yeah, he's more than an ally.
Well, at that time was the lady. What's the lady's name? The owner.
Marge Schott.
He was suspended.
And that's why I was going to ask you the question. How in the hell was y'all able to get that past the owner with all you black guys on the team at one time?
Well, I think because she called me, once again, it went back to, I just come off the World Series. You know what I mean? We went to the World Series like 2 weeks before spring training. She calls me up at, I want to say California time, about 5:15 in the morning, and at that time, I don't know about a white home, but in a black home, if the phone rings that early in the morning, something's wrong.
Something wrong. Somebody did. Somebody got shot.
Yeah, or somebody's in jail, there's been a wreck. Something's wrong.
Right.
So when she called me and she said, I said, hello? She said, Greg, this is Marge Schott, honey. I just want to say you've been traded to the Cincinnati Reds. I was like, no, I did not. Because, and D he can speak on this more than I can, what it was like before I got there. Because I'm telling you, throughout the league, and you're talking about Big Rig Machine, you're talking about some of the greatest players to ever play the game. Mm-hmm. You're talking about my homeboy Barry Larkin, who we had the same agent. You're talking about Eric E.D., who I love. You talking about
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. Dog. They had some dogs. George Foster.
What was the back catcher name? Bench.
Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench.
But you still heard the horror stories, man. That you didn't get treated like a big leaguer. You know what I mean? They did things different. Mm-hmm. And so after I woke up from that nightmare, you know what I mean, so to speak, I swear to God it was a nightmare. I woke up and she said, we have one problem. I said, excuse me, because I've been sick all week from my voice, but she says, we didn't allow no facial hair. First of all, excuse my language, fucked up my sleep at 5:15 in the morning. You told me I got traded to the one team that I possibly didn't want to go to, and now I got to shave my goatee. And I was like, I just hit 50 home runs. I'm the only person ever that get traded after hitting 50 home runs. I should be writing a check saying I'm good to go for at least for the next 3 or 4 years, right?
Right.
And she says, you know what, you're going to have to shave this. And I said, well, you probably want to get your players back because I'm not coming. It's 1999. Mm-hmm. We're back in civil rights as we speak now, 2024. But at that point, I thought we passed civil rights a little bit, mm-hmm. that I can have a goatee. But being a business owner, I get it now. And out of respect and homage to the guys before me, I probably should have, because rules were implemented, because rules are rules.
But rules are meant to be broken. You just can't.
I agree with you 100% on that.
Man, rules are meant to be broken.
I agree with you, GV. You did right. Hey, sometimes you do gotta ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, man, you gotta shake it up, man. And the reason that you shook it up was a good reason, because look how it turned out. Because if you would have broke what you felt, he would have never came on here talking about the goatee and the snuff in your mouth and you saying, God damn it, we gonna get this done. Because that would have took some out of you, because this was your identity. And you was going to allow her to snatch your manhood and your identity from you, because that identity that you had was the snuff, the goatee, and hitting 50 home runs. And everybody hadn't did that yet. So to stand your ground was the best thing you did for yourself and the new Cincinnati Reds.
Well, you know what? And to speak on that, I tell you what, after I got past it, she called me back 2 days later and said the fans and everyone said, we're going to lift that ban. I went and I didn't know what to expect. And and after I got there, I was still in shock, dude. Trust me. We got there. We're in the big leagues, you know what I mean? And no disrespect to the Stowe family, because they had to do what the boss lady said. So the boss lady said, you guys get soup and salad at lunchtime. And I remember Dmitri laughing. I walked in the first day. I'm like, we'd have been on the field since 8 o'clock in the morning. And you feeding us rabbit food, and we're supposed to be racehorses. I was like, God damn. So you want me to go eat soup and lettuce and go out here and play and perform like it's, like every.
She wants you to run like Seabiscuit, baby.
I wouldn't have been no Seabiscuit.
I don't want no Seabiscuit, no biscuit and gravy. There was none of that.
You know what?
She was gonna be looking like Bugs Bunny.
So there was a lot of things that we, and unfortunately, I was deemed that guy to bring it to the attention. I said, man, you can't have a racehorse eating rabbit food. You know what I mean? You if you want a racehorse to perform and you want him to go out there and do what he's supposed to do and win the race, you have to make sure he has everything available for him to win that race. Mm-hmm. And some people take that, oh, he's cocky, he's arrogant. I just know, hey man, you played in the NFL.
Right.
If all you ate was salad and soup, who you gonna blow off the line?
Nobody.
And that's what I'm saying.
Not a soul.
So
I ain't going out there.
So we were able to change that culture also. But like I said, though, I think it goes back to the testament of, man, I was blessed to have some of the best young players in the league that bought in. They for whatever reason, they looked up to me. Mm-hmm. Barry was, I'm going to say he was the general. You know what I mean? Barry was the general. But Barry Larkin did not talk.
Was Larkin there before you?
Yeah, Larkin, his whole career.
So he was there the whole time. D, when did you get in with Meet Up?
I got in at 98. I was traded after the 97 season from St. Louis to the Reds for Jeff Brantley. And ironically, Jeff Brantley has a job with the Reds, and I'm sipping on coffee talking to y'all.
But hey, you know what? We're going to approach that too, though, man.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Dmitri, so that let me know that...
St. Louis, that's where he's from.
I'm born and raised in St.Louis, so I know you know about the pink slip. We're going to leave that alone. But anyway, okay. All right. But no, what I was going to ask you is when Greg got to Cincinnati, what type of changes did you see the team make? Could you see the reason why they brought him to Cincinnati? And did you guys have a problem with him coming and making those changes?
First thing first, we were all ecstatic because we was getting a proven winner over from San Diego, one. And, we all watch baseball. We see all the highlights when GV was with the Brewers and then with the Padres. I mean, just putting in collateral damage. It was like, God, hey, every time ball, he looked like a killer up there. Mm-hmm. And so when he came over, like I said, he changed the culture. We gained an identity. Before then, we was a bunch of, that was like, for the veteran players there, that was my first year in 98, my first full year after my rookie year in St. Louis. And there was a bunch of happy to be there guys, talented. But like GV said, Barry Larkin is like the general, he's the captain. Mm-hmm. But as far as, hey, guy, we got to do it like this, he didn't come off that way. He was a nurturer as far as pulling guys aside, like, hey, right there, I would have done this. where GV would be in your face and be like, hey, goddamn, we got to do this shit like this. Mm-hmm. That's what we needed as young ball players.
Okay.
And that helped. And as the season went on, we were supposed to be a fourth place team. And like I said, GV come fresh out the World Series. And he's not going from up top to down in the toilet bowl. Mm-hmm. And we had a good – I love Jack McKeon. He just let you go out there and play. What do you say? Get out there. You know, and so we had that freedom to go out there. But it was like, me personally, and I know a lot of other guys on the team would agree. Me and Pokey talked about this a few weeks ago at Reds Fantasy Camp, how you was the catalyst of our 96-win team that should have gone to the playoffs. Had we made the playoffs, I'll be sitting here like this, and GV would be putting up that same one. That World Series where we absolutely destroyed the Braves. We killed up on the Dodgers. The Mets was our only problem.
And unfortunately, and you know what? All we had to do was go back to the team that drafted me and win one game. And every game we started that night, it rained every single day. We played the last game of the season. It started at 11:50 p.m. 11:50 p.m. So we watched all the football games. Last game of the season, we had 5 people in the stands. And
it was cold as shit, too.
Cold, rainy. That was the whole weekend. All we had to do was win one. So the Brewers, but I say going in there, they're not going to roll over. They are going to come to play. And we played, man. We fell one game short. So what happens? The Mets are already in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. So now we get home at like 6. For some reason, Major League Baseball says, hey, y'all playing like 11:35 or 12:15 game. So we basically went from the plane to the ballpark facing Al Leiter, and I think we lose 1-0, 2-0, right?
No, it want to be, I think, 5-0.
5-0, yeah.
All of Ricky, you know what Ricky Henderson did.
Yeah. And that's my big dog too. You know what I mean? You know, but that was our chance. But going back to spring training, and it just wasn't myself. Denny Nagel came from winning. Pete Harness, Steve Avery, Danny Graves. I mean, dude, we had a team that bought in. Because I tell you what, our first couple games, we got our ass kicked on opening day. The second game against the Giants, we went to Atlanta. I think we lost like 13-0. Excuse my language. I know we're on the podcast, but I was like, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. I did not come here
to get abused.
To lose another 100 games. So shut the doors. Coaches, get the fuck out because you won't coaching. Everybody get out. Myself, Dmitri, Lark, Nagel, Pete. You know, we said, hey, man, we got 2 choices.
Right.
We can prove them right or we can prove them wrong. Because when I got there, I'm going to tell you, dude, I've never seen nothing like it. We ain't taking BP today. It's too cold or it's too hot. I'm like, what? I was like, it's too hot. It's too hot or too cold for them too. But they taking it.
Right.
So we had to change the culture, right? So, and like I said, you can't change something by yourself.
Right.
I was fortunate to have these guys that bought into it, but also I had Denny Nagel, like I said, Steve Avery, I had Pete Harnish, Danny Graves. We had players. We had Steiny, whatever position you wanted Steiny to play, yeah. Steiny will play. You had Booney. You had Case. Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, I was fortunate to have a bunch of guys that bought into it. And you know what happened? We started having fun, dog. Everybody's bouncing and doing all this stuff. No, dog, that was before. We was doing the hammer before the hammer was out. You know what I mean?
Hey, yeah, we were the one that started the bounce.
Yeah, we started the bounce.
99 Red.
The 99 bounce.
We started that whole
yeah.
walk-off shit.
Yeah, we started the bounce. There was one time we went to Philly. I think we had like In one game, we hit, what did we hit, 9, 10 home runs?
Oh, yeah, it was 9 homers that set a National League record. Yeah, I tell this one all the time.
Come on with it.
And I got that. Oh, man. We was actually losing like 3-0 at the time. Then Jeffrey Hammonds hit a ball all upper deck, and then everybody just boy, we were wearing their ass out to this day. Where we would see a Paul Bird or a Chad OJ, they going like this to us because we put that name number back.
No, and it was no disrespect to the other team though, but it was the expectation of us. Mm-hmm. And you know what? When I first got there, dude, I'd be in the outfield. I'd have like 1 or 2 people with 1 or 2 tooth. Is that what you say? Teeth or tooth? Yelling at me saying we suck. But by the time the season went on, the bleachers were packed. They loved us. And I'm gonna tell you something about Cincinnati Red fans, dude. The history and the truth is real. It is real. 100%. Opening day, for a lot of players, it changes up your routine. But that's the one day I had to go outside and see what opening day was like. Cincinnati Reds do it like nobody else does it. Mm-hmm. I know you're talking about the Yankees and you're talking about the Red Sox and you're talking about the Dodgers. I never had that experience. Okay. Cincinnati Reds. Oh, yeah. Cincinnati Reds, opening day, and D will tell you, about hour and a half before the game, I was in a different zone, but I had to go out and check it out, man. It was something to be seen. And still to this day, for me, only playing 1 year there, the impact that they said that I made, I don't know. I don't want to say how do I accept that? Because like I said, man, the players they had from George Foster to just the big red machine. I mean, how can I make that big of an impact when they had?
Well, you came with a no nonsense attitude. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes when you 100%. Come in with came with a no nonsense attitude. I mean, it's not that the guys that was there wasn't leaders, but sometimes they just need that one voiceless person to push it over the top. You know what I'm saying? And that was you. And to ask D, I was going to ask you, what was your biggest highlight of that wonderful year that you guys had in Cincinnati after you had such a tragic beginning of the year, but to come back and get these 96, 98 wins and just about make the playoff? What was your highlight of that year?
Oh, my God, this is an easy one. This is easy. And it's not the game that we hit the 9 home runs. It had nothing to do with on the field. We played a series in Montreal. 23 the 25 guys on the team were at the same bar. Wow. That was the biggest highlight to me right there. It was like, holy shit, we are a fucking team right here.
You think that's what was that? Do you think that's what that turned the corner? That's when you guys turned the corner?
We started turning the corner, but that was just like, we're about to win this shit.
Okay.
And because, I mean, I've been on teams before, I've been on teams after. You don't get there, and one of the guys was religious, the other one was start to pitch the next day. Other than that, and guys may have been in there for about 20, 30 minutes, and then, okay, I'm going back to the hotel because there were some guys that didn't go out, but we had 23 out of 25 guys there.
Okay.
You know, and we in Montreal, too. They need to put a team back in Montreal, and I'll be happy to be the hitting coach there.
Oh, man, that was good baseball back then.
Yes, please. But when we had that, I mean, that was a bigger statement than anything that we could have done on the field, because that's that camaraderie that everybody talks about. You know it from football and, of course, you know, being in baseball. We were around each other for 8 months.
Right. You
either going to like somebody or be neutral or like, I hate this mob. But we had 23 out of 25 guys there. And for me and Pokey talked about that. Me and Case Man talked about that. Gravy, Scott Willie.
Scott Willie's the best. I seen Scott Wilson. As a rookie, he won Rookie of the Year, man. I'm telling you, this cat came in with the best attitude. He's one of my favorite teammates of all time. But you know what? and I say it was a testament because when I came up, we had, and people might not want to hear this, but me and Shep, we couldn't leave the locker room until the veterans were done drinking beer because it was our job to bring them their beer. But once again, people don't understand that. See, you know what it is? Lawyers, doctors, and whoever, they go to the neighborhood bar or whatever bar they go to, and that's accepted. But if we're doing it, it's wrong.
Right.
But we're in there talking about the game. You just don't learn the game on the field. We talk about and we reminisce and we go over plays that happened that maybe should have been a little bit different. Mm-hmm. But when you have 24, 25 guys buying into the same concept, and like D said, it could be a bar, it could be, how many dinners we had where everybody ate at the same place?
That's cool.
We're not talking about going out doing bad things, and we're talking about being together. We're about being united. You know what I mean? Because you can do things and be united without, getting in trouble. Because, there's going to be some people on here saying, oh, yeah, you guys are a bunch of drunks, cheaters. No, we was trying to get right, and we were trying to be a unit. That's what a unit, we were trying to do things together because it showed the closeness of the team. Our first series and our first or second game in Atlanta, we weren't a unit, but we became a unit. And it didn't mean we were doing anything wrong. It mean we were together. And see, that's the part people miss. And, we were talking about this on the last episode. They don't want people like us around. They want people that never played the game to say, you need to go home and get on your iPad.
I'm ready.
I don't need to get on my...
Analyst.
And you know what? I don't need to get on my... Hey, man, at some point, you need a break from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we played, dude, our starting pitchers, you know what they do? Every good team that I played on, my starting pitchers would be like, hey, he's doing this or he's doing that on changeup or whatever. Dmitri come back and be, hey, dog, he's fanning on his changeup. Whatever. You know what I mean? We talked about the game, not the iPad. Because if I'm looking at the iPad, I'm disconnected from the game.
Totally.
100%.
And
I agree.
Go ahead, D.
I was gonna say that was how I came up with the Cardinal organization. Another storied team with rich history of baseball, and the Cardinals do it right as far as when they bring people up. I had to learn how to bunt. Bat control was very important to be able to do the small stuff because that's what the Cardinals used to do. And as I was coming up, they wanted to change from that pitching and defensive speed to having guys with a little more pop. So that was why they drafted me in the first round in 1991. Mm-hmm. And then when I came up, just like GV said, him and Chef being the bartenders, yes, I was. I was a bartender, and you got well, Ozzie was always gone. He was like at the twilight of his career, but you had BJ, you had Ray Langford, you had Tom Pagnozzi, Gary Gaetti. You got guys with ultra years in there. I'm a rookie.
Right.
And what I was told, rookies are to be seen, not heard, and you'll get by just fine. So when the guys had to get on the plane, I had to, hey, what do y'all having? So I load up a bag of beer for him. Renee Lashman, one of Tony LaRusso's coaches, he wanted a 6-pack of Budweiser. I'm like, damn, okay. And then each player I had it ready for him. Mm-hmm. That was my initiation for being a big leaguer. Not just going up there playing, but you're part of a team. And when we flew into LA for the first time, I'm down here in Southern California in Ventura County, Camarillo. So I had a bunch of family and friends driving 45 minutes, an hour away to go to Dodger Stadium. And Mike Gallego puts me in the headlock. The veterans, for some reason, let me sit back there with them, showing me the ropes. The other rookies they had up front. And we could talk about that some other time. But Mike Gallego puts my head in between his arm and he goes, I want you to remember something. Baseball is what you do, it's not who you are.
Amen.
And then I can live with that. And I remember in the 96 playoffs, this was game 4, I hit a 2-run triple And Royce wound up hitting me in, and we were up 3-1 against the Atlanta Braves. Then the real Atlanta Braves showed up and whooped our ass in the next 2 games. And they went into the 96 World Series against Yankees. But when I hit that triple, I was getting, I took my shower about to go, and I was going to meet my future ex-wife. And they were like, hey, Rook, where you going? No, you don't tell her that, no, you here with us for a while. And so, although I was a bartender, I was go get their stuff, come back, and sit right there, and we powwowing about the game. And this wasn't like a 1 or 2 time occurrence. This was practically every night. I mean, there's some days where we gotta all get the hell up out of here, but for the most part, we'd be in our chonies, and the clubbies are sitting there waiting on our bus for like 2-3 hours, and I'm learning the game. Like I said, you got Gary Gaetti, and you got Ray Langford,
BJ,
and Brian Jordan. I mean, you got all these guys that have years and years. Todd Stoudemire. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there. Dennis Eckersley. It's like you can't help but to learn if you want to learn. If you want to get better at this game. I wanted to get better, so I was all up in there. And I'll ask a question, and they were honest. They ain't sugarcoat. They were like, nah, Rook, you thinking the wrong way on that. I would look at it more this way as opposed to that way. Okay, that clears up a lot of things, and that helped me grow. And then, like I said, we just bounced right back to you, GV. And when you came, because when I got to the Reds, it was like, at first I didn't even start. I was playing behind Eddie Perez, Eduardo. And the next thing you know, I get in there and then, they traded for Sean Casey right at the end of spring training, right before opening day. And so I had to really work my way in there. And then I worked my way to left field and wound up leading the league in doubles that year. 48, hit 300 for the first time. And it was like, okay, now that I got my feet wet, it was a nice, different culture. I got away from that Tony La Russa strict, I hate rookies. And I'm playing with a bunch of guys with like 7 years to 22 years in the big leagues I got Barry Larkin, he's cool. Reggie Sanders, he's cool. But then when you came over there, you was that dog.
See, he kind of
1 year, and even though you was there for 1 year, the lives that you affected in a positive way. One of them's managing the Yankees. One of them's one of the best analysts on MLB Network. Countless coaches, and just all around good people. I think that you had a direct effect on that. So when I got traded to Detroit after the year that Junior came over, after you left, those 2 years, and to me, it kind of fell back to the same. Like your impact was gone. Because Junior was a different ball player as well. He wasn't the kind of, come on, guys, he's like, just like Larkin, And like I said, I'm not talking anything ill about him, but as far as, I won't even say leadership skills, just the way that you're a leader. And so when I went to Detroit, I went there to change the culture. They had the flight from hell where they was doing all kinds of stuff with the flight attendants. They smoking weed on the plane, fighting and all this stuff.
Oh, they was the Raiders. They was the Raiders of the Major Leagues.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was all kind of rowdy. And then Phil Garner's the manager in 2002, but he got fired after 6 games.
Hey, Phil was my manager. I'm gonna tell you one of the toughest human beings I ever met. That was Phil Garner. Phil Garner. Phil Garner. Phil Garner will fight his mama if she slid in second base wrong. I'm telling you, between Phil Garner and Tom and Foley, if you slid into second base wrong, and I'm surprised because Phil was a Pittsburgh, hard-nosed baseball player. So
scrap iron.
Oh, scrap iron. Oh yeah, man. Hey, dude, he was like 5'4". He had to be tough. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
He had that little man complex.
But what's nice, but he can back it up though, man. Like I said, I have much love for Phil Garner. You know what I mean? you know, because people always ask, they say, so, you know, I was free agent after hitting, so I hit 50 and I hit 47 home runs that year, you know, the next year in Cincinnati. But now you get Junior or Greg Vaughn. You can't afford both, I guess. So me, I'm taking Junior. But
Hold on, why would you take Junior over yourself?
because, hey, man, Junior was the best player on the planet at that time, to me. And
Yeah.
that's a no-brainer.
Okay, so what was Junior coming off of that year as a home run?
Everything. Hey,
No,
but you know what you...
I'm saying home run wise.
But it doesn't matter. But was he coming off of everything, D? Junior?
Yeah, every year he was part of the all-century team.
Yeah,
I mean, I know now Griffey, bad boy, I understand it, but you got to understand, Greg,
But he's from Frisco too. He's from Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's from Cincinnati.
So it's like hometown kid coming home kind of deal.
Right.
But it didn't matter.
But in other words,
it ended up not being a
It
good
was
thing
more-
for him
way
either.
to put more asses in seats.
But we put some asses in seats, though.
We put a lot of asses in seats.
Hey, D, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that Cincinnati regret making that move? Not let's take the financial part away, because me, myself, as a professional football player, looking in because I was a baseball lover, because, you know, I'm from St. Louis, but looking in, when I saw Junior go to Cincinnati, I thought as a baseball fan, that was the worst decision he has ever made, because he never lived up to being this great Cincinnati player like he was in Seattle. I mean, I know you can't say you agree or disagree, but as the numbers says, the numbers never lie. And it just seemed like he stayed hurt the whole time that he was in
But
Cincinnati.
that's not his fault being hurt.
I'm not saying that is his fault, but I just think sometimes bad decisions bring on other bad things.
But it's hard to come home. Now, I don't care what sport it is. It's tough to play home.
Trust me, I know. When I went to St. Louis, I cried like a baby on the plane. I hated leaving Minnesota to go to St. Louis. Man, I was on the plane when he was landing in Lambert. I was crying. People was like, "You happy to be home?" I was like, "Hell no."
But that's funny that you say that, because you look at the history of anybody in any sport that goes from playing away from home to all of a sudden coming home to play. And I'm not talking about like a series. I'm talking about like a full-blown. I got 3 years here, and it's just like,
You scared as hell.
yeah. And I'm wondering the expectations, and even though we are built to look past that, I mean, it's still a real thing. You got all kind of people showing up and asking for stuff, and that was another thing that the Cardinals told me: learn how to say no. And I know y'all know that one.
Woo, tickets.
But,
Remember when I got to
but
say
playing, but playing at home, and back to what you was asking about Junior. Yeah, Junior, he just had a bunch of unfortunate circumstances, and it was good to watch him and his daddy work together. And we hadn't even mentioned Ken Griffey the Sr. yet. That man
Who's my
is
favorite?
one of the best people ever.
My favorite.
Okay.
My favorite.
Never had the opportunity to meet him.
That man
my
kept
God.
us together.
Okay.
That man.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it's amazing that he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. It's amazing that he never got the opportunity to manage.
He
It's
should have
something,
managed in 2000,
But-
2001.
but there's something about baseball and people of color, man. I mean, even Dusty, who's like my godfather, man. Hey, Dusty, you know what? The Astros got caught up in all this shit. You come fix it. Why does he have to come fix it? Dusty's won over 90 games every single year he's managed, and he gets fired. If you go through, the stats of managers that don't win 90 games and get multi-year contracts, why is that? D, tell me, help me.
I can't help you on that one. I can agree with you. I can definitely agree. You see guys like, how you got a record deal? Huh? He an ass place, and he just signed a 3-year extension. How? And then you got like you said, Dusty.
Well, you got guys like Dusty.
Steady
Big
winning
Fixers.
there. We feel like we need to go in another direction. Oh, losing? That's the only direction I see.
No, for real, right? So the expectation is, I think it goes back to life. And I think it goes back to life in the sense of I see this man's passion, dude. I know what he does for youth baseball. I know what he does for high school baseball. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, I still remember the first time shaking your daddy's hand when you were talking about your nephew. Hey, Dmitri's daddy would break your goddamn wrist if he shook your hand. And you know what? And I felt like it was an obligation when he shook my hand to make sure his son was okay. You know what I mean? As far as as long as I was there, he did the work. You know, Mr. Young, he did the work. He knew his boys were gonna be okay. Mm-hmm.
My dad, Larry, he was a self-made Delta. He was a Delta pilot before then. He was in the Army, went to Vietnam. I was born shortly thereafter. He switched from the Army to the Navy, and he didn't go to the flight academy. He went to basic training in Milton, Florida, and that was back in the late 70s. And that was when brothers weren't flying airplanes, and pardon my words right here, but he was told, because he didn't know how to swim, they like, hey, nigga, you'll never fly planes. You may fly a helicopter, but you ain't flying no plane, because, you know, you had to know how to swim to be able to do that. So he had other pilots, both white and black and Latin, whoever it was, they was helping him learn how to swim. So he passed the test. Then we moved to Beeville, Texas from Florida, where he's flying T-2s and flight training and stuff. Then we go to Virginia Beach, Virginia. He's stationed at Oceana. He was on the USS Independence flying F-14s. Fighter Squadron 32, they were the swordsman. His nickname, a code name, was Clyde, because my mom named Bonnie.
Bonnie Clyde.
Because you played with Junior the next year. And I remember what some of you guys said after that, but I remember the reporters and people. We were supposed to finish last. And we ended up finishing, we had a one-game playoff for the division. Mm-hmm. They get Junior, the best player in baseball, and that's when I said, Junior or Greg Vaughn, I'm taking Junior every single time. I love Junior. Junior's my folks. Junior could do anything he wanted on the baseball field. But what was the difference in... I don't want to say, it's weird me even asking this question.
I'll ask it. What was the difference between him and Junior? I can answer it just from being out here. I'm thinking vocal to I'm just playing. And see, a lot of times when you got guys on the team that need somebody to say what they need to do instead of just doing what they need to do. You was a guy that said it and done it. Junior said, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, and y'all should follow me. Sometimes people ain't good at that. People need somebody to say, hey, man, what the fuck wrong with you? Because when I first came to the Rams, I lost my mind because I came from Minnesota to a losing team. I was like, man, this shit is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? And everybody accepting losing. You know, that was weird to me. And you had to have somebody that's not afraid of everybody. And I ain't afraid of nobody but Jesus Christ and Patricia Harris. So when I came in the locker room, I was like, look here, man, I don't understand what y'all doing, but this ain't what I came from. And I think that's what you may say about him and Junior. Junior, great baseball player, but Greg had you guys ear and heart, right or wrong.
Ooh, man, you hit the nail on the head. Damn. It was just like, I don't have to say anything either. I can just nod my head like this. I mean, and that was the difference. You had, and we would hang out with GVD after the game. You know, may go up to the room, may go down and have a drink. And yeah, people, we were doing that back in the day, and we were safe. But yeah, we would go and do that, and we'll talk about the game. You know, talk about life.
Yeah, because life's important. People don't understand. Hey, hey man, Corey got freaking diabetes, dude. This is fucking me up. You know what? I mean, they'd be like, damn, dog. But I have somebody that might know somebody that can help you get through this. Because people don't understand. We are human. We hurt, we bleed. All the things. It wasn't just about baseball. It was about life. It was about, whether we talked in the locker room or we went to dinner, you know, you're going to have all the ex-wives, all the ex-girlfriends say they're all up to no good. No, but we hurt too. We hurt, we feel, and, you know, it was a safe place, I think, for us to be able to talk about things that had absolutely nothing to do with our job. Mm-hmm. And how do we navigate through life? How do we deal with, you know, hey, my brother's, you know, doing 10 in the pen, or ex-wives, you know, someone got shot last night. Mm-hmm. People don't understand that. You know, we have. You think we're just supposed to keep that in and go out there and smile? And no, we have to vent.
Society think that's what we're supposed to do. They think because they pay us that we're robots. You know what I mean? We're not robots. We're human beings that's making a living playing a sport that we enjoy.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? So they get a little like you should never be hurting. You should never let anything bother you. We have a lot of things bother. I mean, we have mortgages, we have wives, we have ex-wives, we have girlfriends, we got ex-girlfriends, we got children. We have to deal with all that.
I went through that in 06. The team that went to the World Series, the Tigers, I wasn't on that team. I got released before that because I got myself in all kind of trouble dealing with going through a divorce, not seeing the kids, and other things kind of spiraled out of place. And, you know, the Tigers had to do what they had to do. Hindsight, I still wish they would have kept my ass because we would have won the World Series. But really, really, I'm glad it happened that way because I found myself and realized what the root of my problems was, on top of I need to change some ways, was I was a diabetic.
Okay.
I almost died.
You didn't know you were a diabetic at that time, right, D? You didn't know?
No, at that time, no. At that time, I did not know. And I was trying to reconcile with the ex-wife, which, good job, me. I just got real sick. I had a wound, and it wouldn't heal. Yep. And then my eyesight started going crazy. I had like the best vision in the world. As you see, I'm wearing glasses now. But and you need to have good eyes to play baseball. That's for sure. And started peeing frequently, and then all of a sudden, I got rushed to an urgent care. And when they did my testing me out and stuff to see what was going on, my blood sugar was at 987. Ooh. Now, one of four things should have happened, including death.
Stroke.
And so they rushed me to the Cleveland Clinic where they got it down to 893. And then my A1C was like 21, 22. And they were like, you're supposed to be dead. And I was still here. And after all this stuff I went through with the Tigers getting released and then becoming a diabetic, I was ready to walk away from the game. But luckily for me, I had a great support system. Mm-hmm. Family and real friends. And I'll never forget my brother telling me, this was right before his rookie year, that, hey, you still got plenty in the tank. You know, don't give up. And then my dad and this one struck a real nerve. You don't want your kids to see you quit because they'll become quitters.
That's true.
And I was like, okay. And then no team would pick me up, and then Jim Bowden picked me up, and I went through accelerated camp. This is like a minor league camp, and there was some good big leaguers that came out of that was like A-ball. And that helped me fall back in love with the game. Lenny Harris, all time, was down there.
Oh, the best.
It was like he was like the angel it was like everything fell into place for a reason. Like all this stuff, just watching guys work in action.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, come on, Big D, get your fat ass up, because I ballooned up to like 300 pounds. You know, with the diabetes and not being able to control the insulin, and you know, it was a lifestyle change. Mm-hmm. And so after that, you know, Lenny is like, come on, Big D, they don't want to see you make it. We're gonna go work out. I want you here at 6 o'clock every morning. You get on that treadmill, or you get on the bike for an hour, and then we're gonna go catch some ground balls. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And we had a plan, and we stuck by it. And then Jim Bowden, who was a GM in Cincinnati, was the GM in Washington. And so Jim Bowden liked reclamation projects. You know, the prospect that falls out of favor, or that veteran that then lost a step, let's see if he got anything left in him. And he was like, you know what? Sometimes bad things happen to good people. Let's see how you rebound from that. And 2007 came back and won comeback player of the year, hit 320. Actually hit my weight because I couldn't control that insulin. So there was no infield hits that year, QB.
Hey, man, God
you
bless
weren't beating them out, Doc. You weren't beating none of them out, Big D. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, Big D can run out.
As soon as that ball's in the ground.
Hey,
D
but
can run out.
They let you know that God had a bigger plan for you. You know what I mean? With your kid, look at your son now. And
yes, he did.
He needed you to be here for him. You know what I'm saying? You could have gave up and just been like, all right, well, I did all I can do. But then you never really got to see what your son is doing right now and being able to give him the help that he needs. You know what I mean? So by you being a strong man and having your faith in the good Lord, look where you're at now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like us. We have a saying on our show that we break chains and build dreams. And you broke a chain and you built your dream back in 2007. And God bless you for that.
And you know what's crazy about that? And I don't know where we were at. I don't know. Because like I said, I have a lot of acquaintances. Like, we were all talking here. But, I have 3 biological kids. Mm-hmm. But I have some other biological kids that are in my life. And I remember D, I don't know where we're at. And I'm not trying to put this out there, but I remember one time he's like, gee, he ain't even talking to me, dog. You know what I mean? And we don't have a relationship. And I'm not I'm not trying to put that on blast because I went through the same shit when I went through a divorce and all that stuff too. We're always the bad guy, right? We're the villain. But I said, man, hey, don't give up. Stay strong. And and maybe I'm wrong for saying this out in public or whatever, but no, I felt your pain. But I've been through it. So it was like me trying to tell you it's going to be okay. And we might not understand God's plan at this time, but it's going to be okay. And you know what? He's not meant, because I think we're talking about, is he going to be a baseball player? What's he going to do? Does he like it? Blah, blah. But, the most important thing is the relationship. And now when I see my baby brother, I see him in a good place, man. You know what I mean? And that's what I said, man. I have acquaintances, but I love this dude. I mean, when people always ask me, I name, the Shep, they know he has a special part. Mark Sweeney, I played with, but I was with these cats for 1 year. Those people that he fucking named, dude, whether it was Aaron Boone, whether it was Sean Casey, whether it was Dmitri, whether it was Bone, whether it was Michael Tucker.
No, baby.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Them are my baby brothers, man. I mean, I truly, truly care, not about baseball, but about them as men. And I felt like when they could come to me and talk about, like I said, you can only talk about baseball for so much. We got to talk about life too. Yeah. And once again, I don't have all the answers. It's just my perspective. And, I just want to say, dude, I love you. I'm proud of you. And I'm trying to get emotional because
I got to give you.
You are my guy.
Update.
Give me an update.
All right, here's an update. All right.
Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Go ahead.
No, you'll love it, but I wound up doing it. So after my 3-year stint coaching at Camarillo High School, I stepped down. This was last spring, and then last summer I managed in the draft league. I was with the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. I watched you. My pitching coach, Brian Nelson, as my hitting coach, and we had a 4th coach named Craig. He was awesome. But anyway, the first half was draft eligible guys for the 2023 draft. And the second half was more of indie ball players. They get paid, and that was a 50 games second half. The first half was 30 with all the prospects, high school and college. Owen played for me the second half. And so I was manager / father, and that was by far the funnest summer I had, because one was talking, my son wouldn't talk to me. He's living with his mom in Indiana, and, I didn't have an active part in his baseball. which was taken from him. And we all know who that hurt the most. Didn't hurt me the most. My son. Right. He didn't get that tutelage. Mm-hmm. And so he got to play for me this summer. And when I was in uniform, I was manager. And what I would do around some of the guys, because those kids will call their dads, and they're in their 20s. They grown men, and they're getting paid, and their daddies are on the phone hanging up on them. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Whereas, all right, my son's playing first base after not playing over a year and a half of baseball. And I'll say, hey, Owen, tell your dad he's a piece of shit. And all the guys will look and realizing that it's a joke that, this game's hard enough, but you put added stress on yourself, you're not going to be able to perform at all. You're worried about the wrong thing. Meanwhile, this guy's throwing a cock shot fastball, and you're missing it or taking it because you're worried about what's going on instead of the matter at hand. You want to know where I learned that from? I had it inside me, but to express it the way I did, Mr. GV himself.
Hey, man.
So thank you.
You know what? You to Corey, to Booney, to Corey, to Barry, to Corey, to Smoke, to Case. I remember one time we were playing the Dodgers, and Corey at that time, because Darren, Dusty's like my godfather. Mm-hmm. Darren was too young. Corey was on the field everywhere with us. But Corey one time was taking ground balls with Lark, and the ball hit his hand. And Corey came out to left field. He's like, Dad, my hand's all messed up. Corey was on the field. When I say on the field, everything we did, he did. So his hand blew up. I said, dude, I'm gonna sound like Pedro, but I'm not a pitcher. I was like, dude, go see the trainer. There ain't no ice. You can't, go ice it, whatever, right? So we went to Disneyland that day. That's Disneyland. They let us up through the lines. We go right on all the rides. We do whatever we do. And all of a sudden, I get hit by like Dryford or somebody because they went home right after that because they had school. So my daughter answers the phone. I was like, hey, boo. Hey, Dad, rub some dirt on it. You know what I mean? That's what she told me. After Dryford, the 97 into my elbow. But Corey, when he stuck his hand in his glove too early from the catcher throwing it down there or whatever it was, it fractured his hand. And they were like, can you tell us really what happened? Did your parents do this to you? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So Corey's seen everything. Corey has seen everything. But point being is this dude right here I love. And Dmitri, hey, April 29th. You coming to Sac on April? We got lots of fishing. You come early. You want to go fishing early? We can take you on the Sacramento River.
I want to see that. I already got. Of course, I got my fishing license. I can go 2 rides out there on the freshwater.
Yeah.
I'll just have to get. Well, I got a spinning rod and I got conventional. I got the hooks, weights. Yeah, I want to do some of that. I want to catch me a halibut.
So we gonna catch some halibut in Sac. I seen the halibut you just caught, though. I seen the halibut. I seen the halibut you just caught.
Yeah, it was delicious too. I made poke and sashimi out of that bad boy.
Hey, he's a fishing fool. I thought I was a fishing fool. He's a fishing fool. But my golf tournament is April 29th. Mm-hmm. Big James is gonna be there. Mm-hmm. All the crew is going to be there, but it's to find a cure for diabetes.
Man, do you know I've never played? I've never fished before in my life.
All right,
oh God, damn!
Send me the info.
Hey, D, did you hear what he just say?
I've never fished before, and I'm from St. Louis. Never in my life, man. Hey, D, I ain't never fished in my life, man.
God damn.
Hey, man, I was in them streets.
Hey, D, let me ask you a question, though. Have you ever met a brother that's never fished? We had bamboo poles.
Hey, man, I'm from East St. Louis, man. Only thing we was fishing.
And too late, I want to hear it.
You can't even guess what they fished down there. You didn't fish.
Hey, man, I ain't never fished.
You know what? I'm going to see you with the pro. He's the pro. This is my little brother for life, dude. And you're in. I don't know what you signed up for, but when your dad shook my hand, dude, I still remember that. And tell him that I seen your sister, but I was too shy to go up to your sister, dude. and I seen Q. I don't, I stay out the way, man. I didn't want to say anything to your nephew. Dude, his nephew's a beast, dude. I would have been
honored you said something.
No, but I was texting with you back and forth.
If you see him again, please do.
No, I was texting back and forth. I was texting back and forth. I was texting back and forth with D. I'm watching your nephew play, and like I said, this podcast right here, this is about people that have been in my life. You know what I mean? This is real life to me. It's not about fake media, fake news. I see this man. So I'm where we started. They said, I want you to give me your top. I'm gonna ask you, D, because you switch hitters of all time. You give me your top switch hitters.
Number 1, Eddie Murray.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Number 2.
Number 2, I've been thinking long and hard. I love Carlos Beltran. And I got to play against him for many years, and he was devastating. If I had a third, based on guys that I played with, because actually, technically, I played against Eddie Murray, spring training and shit, no. But as far as playing, I did like Chipper Jones.
Who's 2? Well, who's 2 though? D?
Oh, yeah. The second one, oh, yeah, me.
You guys are no.
Hey, why not?
No. You guys are fucking laughing.
No, I'm not.
You pull up these motherfucking numbers.
No, I know.
I watched this motherfucking hit. He can hit.
You said you're like.
If I
You
get
said the
injured
batting
so
average
much
on your
in
comeback.
Detroit and stay healthy for a few years, but I ain't ifing. I don't look back.
Hey, but D, you
I
didn't.
love Carlos Beltran.
Is he your 2?
Yeah,
Okay, give me 3.
I really like Carlos Beltran.
D, where do you find yourself?
3.
Where do you find yourself?
I'm humble. I like all the guys before me. I don't even put myself.
No. I'm asking you. Your big brother's asking you. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna say this before he says anything. Excuse my language. I know we're on a podcast. This motherfucker, Greg Maddux. I don't care who pitched, and I love Greg Maddux, Mad Dog, Las Vegas homies. This motherfucker got 2-3 hits every day off of anybody. I'm gonna say it.
Oh yeah, deep
Batting average says it all.
Yeah, it says.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. So you put Beltran before you?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Okay.
I'm humble, man. I'm confident, but I'm humble.
Okay, let me see that dog. That motherfuckers talk shit. GB, what you got? GB, what you got tonight? You get this motherfucker, GB? You getting him, GB?
Game recognizes game, and I give them guys respect. This is a great topic because you know what?
Hold up, what about Kirby Puckett?
He ain't switch hitter.
He didn't switch it.
He didn't switch it.
He didn't.
No. So
That's a tough one.
Josh.
Yeah.
But hold
I
on.
left out Willie McGee.
Ooh, Dino.
Hold up now.
Dino.
Hey, you just punched
Dino.
the STL.
Dino. Richmond, California.
That's
Yeah, he just
Willie
went up to
McGee.
number 2.
Willie McGee.
I love me some, and I had him as a rookie, and I was under him like body funk.
Hey man.
Tim Raines.
I did like Chipper Jones.
He put Rock in there too. He put Rock. Tim Raines.
Ooh.
I forgot about Tim Raines.
Speedster type. He's more of that speedster type. You just try and get on. He's in the top 10. Though. Don't get me wrong. I did like Rock.
Oh, Rock. How can you not like Rock? Rock is the man. Rock. That was old through Scud. I mean, that was a thug. You get on first, still third. He's scoring. I'm gonna give you mine.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, dang. I left out Roberto Alomar. Shit.
Oh,
all right.
Shit.
Damn.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, you see why this whole thing is long? Because we old. That guy switched it.
Hey, D.
No.
So I'm gonna give you mine.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
You guys left off a lot of motherfuckers, though, man.
You know, it's especially hard because after their careers, you forget some of them are switch hitters.
That's why we
remember the
created this
numbers.
show, Life After
Yeah,
Sports.
for real.
So we can bring them back. We're going to reintroduce all these great players. Come on, Greg. Give it to me, baby.
Okay, so I have to say this. D. I know he got that chocolate all up in him right now. That chocolate
How'd
is.
you know?
I know. So I'm gonna say, mine is, you get 4,000 goddamn hits, you got to be one.
Yeah, for sure.
You get 4,000 hits, you got to be one. Second, I'm gonna say. I wasn't old enough for Joey D. I can't. You know, I know he was the man, ladies' man. He was the pimp in the 1930s and 40s. But for me, I'm gonna tell you, Roberto Alomar can get a hit any fucking time he wanted. If he bunted right, left, whatever, he might be the smartest baseball player I've ever met in my fucking life. Third,
Agreed.
thank you. Third, this is tough because Chipper's in the Hall of Fame. I love Chipper. But B Hook can hit, man. This motherfucker didn't dodge bullets. Pendleton didn't dodge bullets. I'm gonna say.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna say Willie McGee though, third. Dino was a motherfucker. Dino can hit. For all y'all don't know, if you ain't from the Bay Area, you know what I mean? But I have to say, after that, Chipper and Dmitri. You motherfuckers didn't get to see this motherfucker play. Dude, I've seen him every day live in person.
Yeah.
He's in my top 5. And then I say Terry Pendleton. Dude, but I'm saying every day,
Yeah.
there's no days off. He didn't give a fuck. Dude, the best pitchers of, Randy's pitching today. I go right-handed, clack. Now, who's coming in left-handed? Clack. Maddox, whack. And that's no disrespect to the pitchers. I'm saying he was a dog, man. He didn't take days off.
Yeah.
And he's not giving himself credit. And I'm not giving him credit because he's my baby brother and he's on the show. But D, what's your lifetime average? I don't know my shit. 292.
Each side.
That's his.
Each side.
Both sides.
I didn't even ask him to motherfucker
bro.
do it, right?
That's what's happening.
See, JV like 242.
Both sides.
One side.
But you was a home run hitter.
Man.
No, I'm saying, dude, the respect I have for Dmitri is I play with a lot of guys that they picked and choose who they played against. This motherfucker, who's playing today? I mean, lefty, righty, that's what I respect about him. Terry Pendleton, love to death. Like I said, Willie McGee's up there because Dino, that motherfucker put on the ground, Vince Coleman, I put up there. I'm telling you, dude, back in the day, dude, I'm telling you, motherfuckers back in the day, we switch hit.
Yeah. I think the problem
That's a low start now.
Yeah, with a lot of the stuff back in the day too is that we don't have the tape. Nowadays, every game is being taped.
You know why we don't have the tape?
Please
No. This is my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. Because they have a motherfucker that's sitting in Stanford, Harvard, Brown, Dartmouth saying none of that shit matters.
Mm-hmm.
What's that curse word we always call it?
Yeah.
Analytics.
But it's also that they just didn't tape all the games back then.
They did.
In the 50s, 60s, 70s?
Do you understand when the analytics are going over data?
No, I know that. I'm fully aware of that.
No. When they're going over data, they're going over the best players. They're going from the 50s
Yeah.
to now. So they're taking Dmitri, myself, they're taking you,
Yeah.
and they're saying, this is what this guy's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
They're leaving out the human element of the game. Like Steiny. You got to have a Steiny. That motherfucker Steiny had big ball sack. You got to have some sack. Motherfuckers, he don't play but once or twice every week. But once every twice a week, you're getting his ball sack. And he's going to fucking deliver. They're eliminating every time. So, hey, you can't go fishing on Tuesdays no more, dog. You on. You are every motherfucker. And you know who we got next Tuesday? We got the mayor. We got the mayor, Sean Casey. They said,
Lord.
yeah, we got to have Dmitri on every Tuesday, dude.
Yeah, hey, we're good.
Executive
We got
producer,
the-
you're on.
Send the link, man.
You got-
We can have 48 people on that. That's probably
Dude, you can do it. You ain't got
Chop
shit-
and splice.
You ain't
Chop
got shit to
and
do,
splice.
right? You on Tuesdays?
Some days, yeah. Sometimes I'm good.
Hey, Demetrius, tell him
That's a loose
don't
commitment.
obligate me to this shit.
I don't give a fuck you on that boat, motherfucker. I know what you're doing. Just let
I'm
us
going
see.
fishing, baby.
They're definitely fishing.
Hey, AD, I appreciate you. You know I love you, dog. Bottom of my heart. My guy. My guy. Thank you. You know what? You tell Dmitri, what is our motto? What do we do?
We break chains and build dreams. Right here at Life After Sports.
That's what we do, D. I appreciate you, brother. I love you. And
Peace out.
hey, tell Q, swing that motherfucker, man.
Hey, good to see you, homeboy.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, brother.
Hey, you're welcome, guys.